Winter Park, Florida, and behind me is what most people think is an ordinary LA Fitness and a rundown Kmart shopping plaza. Little do they know, though, is that this LA Fitness is formerly a movie theater of where Walt Disney announced Disney World.
Tomorrow, a project so vast, it has already been called a whole new Disney World. And now, here is Walt Disney.
Welcome to a little bit of Florida here in California. This is where the early planning is taking place for our so-called Disney World project. Our Florida land is located partly in Orange County and Osceola County, between the cities of Orlando and Kissimmee. Of course, there will be another amusement theme park in Florida, similar to the one in California. But the most exciting, the most important part of our Florida project, in fact, the heart of everything we'll be doing in Disney World, will be our experimental prototype city of tomorrow. We call it Epcot, spelled E-P-C-O-T, Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow.
This theater opened in the 60s as the Winter Park East and West Theater, and it had 2 screens at first, but then it was bought out and it was expanded to 11 screens. It was renamed the Winter Park 11. And then in 1967, Walt Disney, on his deathbed, he made a movie called A Whole New Disney World, and it was explaining of what was going to be at Walt Disney World. It had Epcot Center of the Magic Kingdom, all the resorts. And then in 1967, that film premiered here to select media guests for the first time. It only played here. This is where it debuted. All the media came here to watch, and they learned about Disney World. So this whole little archway is not original to the 1960s movie theater. This was added later on when it turned into the Park 11. Here you can see the theater's facade. This was built in the 60s. Yeah, none of these people know of how historic this building actually is. So most Disney fans are probably confused, like, whoa, Disney was announced in downtown Orlando. Well, yes, they announced that Disney was coming to Florida in downtown Orlando, but they didn't announce the actual details that Disney World would consist of until, I think it was 1967, when they debuted that film here at the Winter Park East and West Theater, which is now an LA Fitness. So right here you can see one of the big theater buildings on the right, and there's this other one on the left. This one on the left has a jagged edge to the building. Now it's all converted to a gym. Here comes the 1960s themed facade. All left over from the Winter Park East and West Theater. The Park 11 Theater has eventually closed its doors in 2007 or 2008. There's not really clear specific data on this stuff. Over here on the road, you could still see remnants of the theater, as there's 2 street signs for the plaza. The one closest to us used to say Park 11 Theaters, and it would display the show times for the movies, and the one on the left had a Kmart sign. Now, one says LA Fitness and the other one says Space for Lease. You could see the old neon strips of lighting, the white tubes. See 'em? So it's a pretty cool historic spot in Winter Park, Florida that most people don't know about.